Hello, I'm Delusion Dispeller, back to talk to you more on warning signs. And once again, these videos won't just be about warning signs in relationships, but some useful information about getting ready for a serious relationship. So in this video, I'm going to start by talking to you about lies in relationships. How often does your partner lie? Do you lie? What do they think of lying? Is it ever okay to lie? Is there little white lies that are okay? When do they lie and why do they lie? Do they lie in order to avoid displeasing you? That's not healthy. Do you lie in order to avoid displeasing them? That's also not healthy. Do they lie to avoid confrontation? If you confront them on something, they know they did it wrong, but they don't want to be called on it, do they lie? That's not healthy. It's not good. Do they lie in order to avoid having real communication? Also not good. You don't want somebody that's not going to be truthful with you, and you don't want to be in a relationship not being truthful with the other person. Because trust me, lies will come back to bite you on the rear end if you keep on doing that. So that was basically all about emotional availability. Now I'm going to go into some other things. I told you that these videos are about people that have been traumatized. Now, all of that information I gave you on the past videos probably could be in any relationship. But the next part of what I'm going to talk to you about are some things regarding trauma victims. Because 9 times out of 10 in my life, the people I've dated, people I've married, were former trauma victims. I myself was traumatized as a child. I think it's safe to say most of the people you come across nowadays have been traumatized in some way in their childhood, but it didn't come out till probably more recently, when talking about abuse has been something that's more open than in the past. So let's talk about one of the things that causes a trauma victim to have some problems in relationships. Disruptive and protective caregiving. What that means is maybe their parent died, maybe there was a divorce, maybe there was incest, maybe there was something going on in the family that caused that child to not feel protected by their caregiver. What this produces in that child as an adult, and sometimes even as an adolescent, is a feeling of paranoia, impending danger, interpersonal violence in relationships. They often, if you've ever seen the movie Fatal Attraction, I will kill myself if you don't stay with me. I'll kill you if you don't give me what I want. That kind of stuff comes from traumatized child upbringing. People going to jail can also produce this. There's a sense of insecurity in the child that daddy or mommy are not around and they're never coming back. So they feel insecure and they act out of that insecurity sometimes. Sometimes the child ends up in jail simply because they believe that this is just something they're destined to do because their parent ended up there. Severe, persistent emotional abuse. This is a big one in relationships with trauma victims. They have learned an unhealthy way of relating to people. So if you're in a relationship with somebody like this that has been severely traumatized, you will often see a lot of temper tantrums. They may hit you, they may yell at you, they may scream, they may cry a lot, and they also may make you cry by the things that they say and the things that they do. Just emotionally damaging things that they say that really hurt your feelings. They may not even realize or care that they're hurting your feelings, because all they know is there's this pain deep inside them that they're acting on, and you unfortunately are closest to them. So a lot of times you'll become the victim simply because they know you won't leave them. They know that you're not going to hate them afterwards. They know they can give you sex afterwards to heal your heart, at least for the moment. So you may become the unwitting victim of somebody that was traumatized as a child. War is another thing. A lot of times people that have gone to war come back with post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms, and they take that out on the family. And of course, a lot of times in those families, there's the don't talk, don't tell rule. The ignore the elephant in the middle of the room rule. You know, Uncle Frankie is just not feeling good today. That's why he yelled at you and threw that thing at you across the room. Um, Johnny can't help it that he can't go to the family dinners because he's so socially phobic. So you learn to live with that dysfunction, to either ignore the dysfunction or make excuses for it. And then in your own relationships, you often see people acting dysfunctionally and also ignoring it or acting out on it and making excuses for it. In these families of traumatized people, there's a lot of splitting up, separation, divorce, and as we said, severe emotional abuse and even verbal abuse. They will often act in their relationships the way they were treated. And obviously, these relationships are not healthy. You need to get counseling if you're in one of these relationships, or if you are the person that is victimizing another person, definitely get help. It's not healthy, it's not good, it will not produce anything of lasting value. If anything, it will alienate your partner from you and not form a lasting loving bond. So get help if you're in those types of relationships. And I'm going to end that there. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for some more information on warning signs in relationships.